A most heartfelt welcome to everyone here today. It's a beautiful crowd and we are so happy to have you all here. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Lotta Alsen, the president of the Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Los Angeles, also going under the name of sacc-la to make our lives a bit easier. And I've been the president for about 1.5 years, and when I'm not here, which sometimes feels like this is a full-time gig, I'm also running a leadership company called Quickenings, creating computer games for the next generation leaders, and in order to change the world as well. I'm incredibly happy to be here tonight. I just want to say that to be part of this community, I didn't really think that I would feel that way, especially not from business community. But this has really turned out to be a wonderful group of friends, and also a really cool group of businesses. And often when you think about a chamber, you think about that it's something pretty stodgy, at least that was my perception. What we've tried to infuse it is with a bit of more soulfulness, playfulness, and some creativity as well. And I think you all see the results of everyone here today. You've all been part of making that happen. So thank you so much for that. Since we've kind of made some changes, I just wanted to talk or mention a few things that we have been doing. And actually in 2 weeks, we are launching a new concept called Sweden Exposed. And that is to really highlight new artists, emerging artists, and musicians, actors. And the reason for this is that after the Swedish consulate closed 3 years ago, we've been actually taking up some of the slack for them, and we are doing more creative, cultural stuff as well. So we are very happy to have that at Huset, which is by Hallberg, and Huset is also a new business. So thank you so much, Holly, for having that And so we are launching our Sweden Exposed then with an artist here called Philip Moratti. And we are also, we've been doing a seminar series on making it in America, on how to actually make it happen here, which has been going really well. And we want to keep doing that to try to share what the people have done who actually have succeeded here in all areas of life. So we are also getting pretty big into gaming. So we are doing a big gaming event in June with many Swedish organizations, Scandinavian organizations, and we are very excited about that. That's in conjunction with E3. And since I think Kim, who's one of our board members, has told me that the gross receipts for gaming actually supersede the gross receipts for the box office movies right now, it seems like this is a very opportune moment for us to be part of that, especially considering Sweden is very far along in gaming. And then we are doing a clean tech event as well. But I wanted to also say, because many people don't understand that we are a non-profit and we have no government support. And the reason actually, when we are doing this award scala, the proceeds of, for example, the silent auction goes to help us keep the doors open. So we are all working here for free, and we have marketing managers coming from Sweden, working for 6 months, paying for everything themselves, just so we can keep offering these services. So please support us, and if you want to become a member, we have a desk outside where you can sign up for your membership, or if you haven't paid yet, you could please do so today. And again, we really appreciate your support so we can keep doing this. And before getting the real party started here, I wanted to acknowledge all the dignitaries we have here today. So I would like to start with the Eliason Award recipients of 2011, Per Hallberg. Can you please stand up? Thank you, Per. Kerstin, Florian, can you please stand up? And for our CSR initiative, STOPP-LA, please stand up. Thank you, Victor. I also wanted to acknowledge former presidents of the board, Kent Berg, Ola Östlund, and Margareta Lassén, former Eliason Award recipients, Kent Berg again, Thomas Gigeus, Kerstin Alm, Margareta Saperston, and Barbro Oscher. So Barbro, you can actually keep standing up because I'm also acknowledging you as the consul, Swedish consul from San Francisco. Please stand up and thank you for coming. Thank you. And we also have Gabriella Augustsson from the Swedish Embassy in DC. Please stand up. And finally, I also wanted to introduce other Swedish organizations in the greater Los Angeles area. So STOPP-LA, again, President Margareta Lassén. The Swedish School, Margareta Saperston. And the Swedish Church, Pernilla Håkansdotter Olsson. So I will soon kind of get over this, but I wanted to also introduce our board and marketing managers. And so if you need anything tonight, if you want to contact us, if you have any problems or any critique, please come to me. If you have any positive feedback, come to our marketing managers or to our other board members. But I wanted to start with Sam Rusani. Has he arrived yet? I haven't seen Sam yet. Okay, moving on. Kim Schwartz, hotshot entertainment lawyer at MSNK. Gudrun Giddings, Vice President, Paradox Entertainment and Luminary movie producer. Marissa Hoven, Miracle Project Manager and my right hand at my company, Quickenings. She's also this evening's stage manager, so, and she helps me stay sane, so thank you, Marissa. Annika Hellstrand, making wonders at Mobiento as their West Coast rainmaker. Bianca Blake, cosmopolitan and glamorous event maker, who's also our silent auction host tonight. Ola Östlund, super entrepreneur and one of the ones who provides us with a direction to our past. Thank you, Ola. Marcus Koval, MMA fighter and the party fixer, and he keeps us all on our toes. And finally, Thomas Gigeus, bigwig, co-president at 20th Century Fox. I also wanted to introduce our wonderful marketing managers who will be taking care of you tonight. We have Daniel Losinski, serial entrepreneur, Mensa member, and awesome at jump starting cars. We have Magdalena Chesho, who is a marketing whiz, chief executive, and skull collector. And then we have Zakaria Gatan, who is a game developer, tech whiz, and our Persian prince. So now I'm about to introduce our MCs for the evening, and I'm so excited to have this incredible couple. They're not a couple, but they're coming up as a couple. And I'm incredibly excited to have them here. So I'm starting with Maria Montazami. She moved to Los Angeles, from Sweden to Los Angeles 23 years ago. And she's known through the Swedish Hollywood Wives, where she had her breakthrough. And it's now in its 4th season. And currently Maria can be seen in the TV show What Happened To, and is busy working on her bag and jewelry collection, the Maria Montazami collection, which you actually can find outside to make a bid on. And she's just also released a best-selling book. Welcome, Maria. Well, and then I also wanted to reintroduce Travis Carter. So along with writing, singing, and producing, Travis Carter is a seasoned actor. He founded Reach for the Stars Ministries, whose mission is to spiritually enlighten, stabilize, and encourage the entertainment industry, which sounds like a very good mission. He works behind the scenes on the creative team and as Chief Business Development for the cutting-edge transmedia company 1-3 Productions. Welcome, Travis.
I need a self-esteem boost, so, clap loud for me. I'm having a bad day.
No, you're not, Travis. Can I start?
You go ahead.
Yes,
Ladies first.
First of all, I would like to say welcome to every single person in this room. And I just want to clarify one thing. I am probably the only Swedish that's been here for 23 years with this big, heavy Swedish accent. So I apologize if I sometimes have to say something in Swedish. But anyway, did my breakthrough. I am actually married with 4 children that I love more than anything in the whole world, and my husband. I did the Swedish Hollywood Wives, and my life just took off to another level of what I can do that I did not know that I could do. But even after all this wonderful thing have happened, I just want to tell you how proud I am to be Swedish, how we in our household love Sweden and we do all the Swedish traditions. And so I'm so happy to be here today and be able to continue with the Swedish-American tradition.
Well, welcome everyone. I am Travis Carter, AKA T-Rev when I sing on stage. I've been here in LA for about 7 years. I'm from Ohio, and I love to be in the presence of all you beautiful Swedish people. I love it. Thank you for embracing me at the Chamber. And I sing, I write, I produce music. I'm also an actor, and I do some hosting work with Wheel of Fortune. So I do a lot of things, got a lot of kids, got to pay the bills. And you're wondering how this American ended up at the Swedish Chamber event. Well, basically 10 years ago, I was in Ohio, and I saw this beautiful Swedish girl at the gym, and I said, well, I always dreamed of having someone from overseas, so now she's made it easier. So I started to pursue her, and I also wanted some honesty in my life, because I read that Swedish people are very honest, and I just needed that after the breakup that I went through. And so when I met her, we became friends for 6 months, just friends, and I asked her, hey, let's take this to the next level. I mean, can we do something here? And she said, nah, you're not my type. I don't even undress you when you walk into a room. I said, wow, there's that honesty that maybe I should change my mind. And basically, I spent the next 6 months trying to figure out how I can become undressed in her mind. I'd be at church, unbuttoning a few things, looking at her, saying, now? And she'd be like, no. But anyway, long story short, I won that war, and we got married, have 2 beautiful children. There she is. And she introduced me to the Swedish Chamber, and Lotta, and Thomas, and everyone, and it's been great. So I'm glad to be here. And I guess we're going to move. I want to mention something about the silent auction again. We really want to stress that's how the Swedish Chamber is supported. So make sure, if you're rich, go spend thousands of dollars. If you're broke, tap your rich neighbor and say, loan me $500 so I can go get something. There's some great things out there.
Oh, but can I say one more thing, Travis? Even you don't have to be rich to put a little money into a silent
True.
auction. I think, oh wait, now I forgot what I was going to say. No, I think there is something little for everybody out there. So please go and take a look and see if there's something just for you or for that special person.
Absolutely. All right. Well, moving on. Let's see what we have here next. Okay. All right. And make sure you pay for those things again. I stress that because they also, one of the members of the chamber, he knows MMA, and they will send him to your house if you try to leave with the items without paying. But we're going to introduce two very special people who are going to give a speech about the Swedish presence and development in the United States.
Yes, and I would like to introduce an extremely important and kind, and one of the ladies that probably is the best representative of a Swedish woman here in America. She has done a lot for Sweden and a lot for America. She is also herself a Eliason Merit Award recipient of 1999, and also another one of her accomplishments are she was Svea's International Woman of the Year 2004. Who is this wonderful lady? It's our General Consul of San Francisco, Barbro Osher.
All right. And accompanying her on stage is another wonderful person. She is the head public diplomacy, press and communication counselor at the Embassy of Sweden, Washington. She has been working for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for 9 years as a communication strategist. She came to Washington, D.C. from London, where she spearheaded the public diplomacy part of the Swedish EU chairmanship. And this woman, she sounds super strong and tough woman. But you know what? She's sweet. I just had the pleasure of meeting her. Such a good energy, such a warm-hearted person. Gabriella Augustsson. I may butcher up the last names. Forgive me.
The question is, how do you stand all this women power?
Thank you.
You do it.
All right. I'll give you guys both the mics here.
Gabriella and I have actually prepared a 20-minute PowerPoint on migration. However, looking at you, it seems that you have migrated only in one direction, and we were talking about both directions. So we decided to scrap that. And I would like to say that it is a pleasure to be back in Los Angeles, in the greater Los Angeles, and at Skirball, where I had one of my first really big cultural events. And this is now so many years ago, some of you were not even a gleam in your mother's eyes. So we won't mention the year. It was actually in the 90s. I must say, it's a pleasure to be back in LA for more than one reason. I was the lucky recipient of the Eliason Award in 1999. Is that correct, Lotta? Hopefully. And it was very different then. We were oldies but goodies. Now we are maybe only oldies. But what is happening in the meanwhile is that there is a new generation that has come from Sweden. And I want to remind you all, Maria said it very good, you know, you always carry Sweden with you, somehow. In the 1850s, I think we should go back, in the 1850s, there were about 4 million people in Sweden, most of them living in absolute poverty. And you who are sitting here today have no clue how tough life was. Of the 4 million, 1.2 left the country because they couldn't sustain themselves on the meager grounds that Sweden had to offer. Most of them went west It was west that the future was beckoning to them. And now, more than 150 years later, we are all here, and we are all Swedes, and we all share a common ground of not only the birch tree and the red cottage, but the good of Sweden, the good sense, the fact that we are well educated, well cared for, that we think in organizational terms, that we think in consensus terms, and that we are also something else, very, very creative and incredibly innovative. Thank you to you, all young Swedes, which we all are, who have sort of migrated to another place in the world where we are at the forefront of everything that is new and creative, and still have our grounds in the Swedish moss.
Yes? There we go. Oh, I was going to say, it's always hard to speak after such a wonderful speaker. I'm very proud to stand here next to Barbie. I mean, she's an icon, so I feel very privileged to be part of this. I don't know if I deserve to be on this coast, but I actually was a student a little further up here many years ago. But I'm happy to be back in Washington, D.C., and I'm bringing news to you from Sweden. Actually, good news. Trade between Sweden and America is up 31%. And California receives most of the export from Sweden, which is wonderful. And the goal, our trade minister just set a new goal, and that is to double that export. So 2015 is going to be doubled. But not only Sweden has that goals, also America has exactly the same goals. And it's interesting to look because most of the export goes one way, goes from Sweden to America. But we can see some great investments that's been going on lately. I don't know if you heard what Facebook has done, as they say, at the edge of the Arctic Circle. And they're talking about Luleå, a town in the northern part of Sweden. They're planning to open their first overseas server farm in Luleå, which I think is quite amazing. And why? You think Arctic Circle and think Luleå. The cold. We don't need to pay for any air condition in Luleå. The average temperature is 35 degrees Fahrenheit, about 1 degree Celsius year-round. That's the average temperature. Reason number 2 for them opening there is the water. You know, Luleå älv, as we say in Sweden, is producing more power than... Now I need to look at my notes. All of a sudden I got nervous. More power than... What's the name of the big... here in America? No! Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam, thank you. I needed that. Hoover Dam, you know, Luleå älv actually has double the power of Hoover Dam. The double of power. So that's the second reason for Facebook moving there. The third reason is that they think our power system is so secure and safe. So that's, you know, that's what they're doing. Another thing that I think is fantastic, and I think that's a credit to people like you, is that Sweden managed to be on top of all these great listings. I don't know if you noticed, and here I need to read it because I don't remember. Everything from innovation, Barbara already mentioned that. Sweden is number 1 when it comes to innovation. Not only in one rating, and it's not Sweden making those ratings. This is The Economist, this is the European Union making those ratings. We're the best global brands. We're among the 20 best when it comes to global brands. Country reputation, we're the 2nd out of 50. When it comes to democracy, we're the 4th out of 167. Press freedom, we're the 1st out of 178. And what I think is wonderful is that we're also in the happiness market. We're number 4th happiest in the world. I didn't hear that. I'm going to end with the happiness market because I think it's all about happiness here tonight. And thank you so much for everything you're doing for Sweden. We all need you. Thank you so much. Bye.
This is Marcus, and we're here with Barbara Osher, who is the General Counsel in San Francisco. Consul General in San Francisco. And you came down here. It's not your first time here. You've been in Los Angeles for many years previously, and you won this prize in 1999. Has it changed since then?
Thank God it has. I mean, can you imagine if we were frozen in ice from 1999? That wouldn't have been any fun. It's been a great evening, and you know, I'm very critical and very discerning, and I must say it's a whole new generation. It's been infused with a lot of creativity. I'm very happy to see that there is a new generation of very innovative Swedes coming into the LA area, and thank you.
Thank you for coming down, and thank you Lotta obviously as well, and the marketing managers. They've done a tremendous job here. What to you stood out tonight? What made the night so special?
Well, I think it was a great mixture of deep Swedishness and deep Los Angelinos-ness. You know, very good presenters. I mean, the mixture of the MCs, fantastic. Statuesque Maria.
Oh, absolutely.
And Travis.
We can see her here behind us actually right now.
You know, I'm not looking because I will feel very short. And Travis, who is a genius.
Absolutely.
Genius. And the award recipients who were really sort of over a wide stretch of different disciplines, I would like to say. And so good, so good. It's been a great evening. Congratulations.
Thank you, absolutely, and they've done a great job. What is it about us Swedes? What is it about immigrant Swedes that makes us so proud of our country?
We are small. We have a country that we are proud of. We never have to defend who we are. We are always appreciated. We stand for great quality. And we stand for also, you know, decency, conciliation, peace, and so we have contributed to the world with the Nobel Prize, for instance.
For you Americans that didn't know that?
They know that. We have one prize in Oslo, but all the rest in Sweden. But I mean, we are something. We don't need to stand up and say, well, you know, we are good somehow. Everybody knows that we are great. We are 9 million people. We are bigger than California geographically, but small, but strong and innovative and charging.
I completely agree. Barbara, thank you so much for your time and for a great night. This is Marcus, and I'm here with Gabriella Augustsson from Washington, from the embassy in Washington, and you're the head of diplomacy counselor in Washington, and you're here in Los Angeles with us today. What do you think of the event tonight?
I think it's extremely impressive. I'm very impressed by all the prize winners. My God, I mean, how are you going to top this next year? And I just would like to send my compliments to Lotta. I don't know if you know that, but you know, she is the only woman that's head of a chamber in the US, and there are 18 chambers. And if you know, we had more women, maybe there would be more events like this. I'm very impressed.
I absolutely agree. We asked other people as well, what is it about Sweden? What is it about us that makes us so proud of our country once we leave our country?
I think maybe we need some distance, and I think that's an extremely interesting question. And I mentioned earlier, you know, we're on top of so many different scales where it's come to creativity, innovation, but also very many humanitarian issues. And I think maybe we realize what we have when we see it from a distance. But I think what America allows us is to be more open and spontaneous, and maybe be proud and pursue our dreams. And that's something that we get from this country. So I think that's a good match.
Absolutely, and honestly, I must say as well. So, one thing about Sweden that stands out to you, if you could say one thing that makes Sweden so special?
I think we are, one thing that I think is special about Sweden is that we manage to mix creativity and authenticity, and I think that's quite unique. And most countries, they are either or, they're either creative or very dependable, but we have both those qualities. I think we're the only country that share that with us is the UK actually, and I think that's very a very excellent balance that we happen to strike there.
We do very well, and it's been a great night so far. And Gabriella, any specific song you want to hear by the band tonight or the DJ?
Oh, anything California cool, that would be great with me.
Nothing in Swedish?
No, I'm here to listen to the American stuff. I don't need Swedish. I think it was beautiful when we sang "Who Can Sail Without Wind." I thought it was beautiful for Per earlier, and that's good enough for me.
I agree, and very spontaneous, and it's a beautiful song actually for the Americans that don't know. Gabriella, thank you so much for your time, and hope to see you back here next year.
Thank you for having me.
We're about to enjoy a little bit of a great song, two national anthems.
Then I would like to present, we're gonna hear Du gamla, du fria med Bali Harko och Malin Bylund. Kommer säkert bli den absolut bästa låten ikväll.
I agree. And we will also have the Star Spangled Banner sung by Lola Gail Sandgren. Beautiful, beautiful voice. And so we should bring, who's singing first?
The Swedish anthem.
Let's do it.
Du gamla, du fria, du självhöga nord, du tysta, du glädjerika sköna. Jag hälsar dig vänaste land upp på jord. Din sol, din himmel, dina ängder gröna. Du trånar på minnen från fornstora dagar, då att ditt namn flög över jorden. Jag vet att du är och du blir vad du var. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden. Thank you.
I have to admit that I'm going to do my best the lyrics. It's funny. I should know this. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
softly streaming, and the rocket's red glare on the bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the free and the home of the brave?
I have here some clips from my movies, and you'll have a sense when you see them in each one. You listen. There's the dialogue, and there's the music, and there's all those things. Start to listen to those extra sounds that are in the scene. And there are some booms, but there's some other things too. So we have a clip. Let's take a look. So those are 4 films that I worked with Per on. He didn't, unfortunately, I was shocked. He didn't just work with me. He has worked with Ridley Scott on innumerably great movies, Gladiator, many other films. He won his first Academy Award on Braveheart for Mel Gibson. He then did a group of movies called Born. I don't know if you know those. He won the Academy Award again for Born Ultimatum. But anyway, that's his Hollywood persona. We're at a Swedish evening, and I want to go back. Because Per, he's from a small island off the coast of Sweden. I happened to talk to his mother, and she said one cold winter night, she was visited by Thor. Now, nothing happened, they just shook hands, but 9 months later, Per came into the world. And he always liked to bang on things and make noises. Well, he grew up and like another fellow, this guy from the Middle East, who also was visited by a god, he was a carpenter when he grew up. And he also taught math, and then he got an economics degree. So everything was like working great for him. He was heading towards a very wonderful life in Sweden, and then disaster hit. He met an American girl, followed her to the United States. And here, he had to make a living. So he remembered his heritage and how he liked to bang on things and make noise. And he met Lon and Wiley, his partners in Sound Deluxe. And the rest is history. But I think that Per is very much a fixture of the Hollywood community. And at the same time, he is Swedish through and through. He may wear an earring around, which is the dice, that's the American side. But around his neck, he wears relics of Viking era. He is a Viking. He's got the long hair. He is proud to be Swedish, and every year, his favorite holiday, and I go to it, is Midsummer Night's Eve. And for a moment, he makes Malibu Sweden. So at this moment, before I introduce him, and of course, right afterwards, Pierre, I want you to come up here and get your award. But I'd like you all to stand, if you would. And I'd like us all to sing Vem kan segla por utan vind. I don't think you know those words, do you? All right. Darling, would you begin? Per, come on up here. That one. Very beautiful, my friend.
I'm about to start crying now, so just get used to it. Thank you so much, everybody. It's a great honor. And I'm a little humbled after that, of course, close to the speaker. I'll make this pretty short. I think I to 100% stands for who I am and what I am. But the things that we saw on the screen, I gotta take my time. And the work and the life that I live makes me especially proud tonight because I have my wife and one of my daughters here. I have some very, very good friends. I have Karen, my work partner, that was with me in all these things through the years. And Lon, while he's not here, but I have Bob, everybody else to support at work. And without that kind of support, I wouldn't make it. A single day on my own. So thank you so much, everybody. Holly, I love you. Karen, everybody else, thank you so much. Taylor, fantastic. Thank you so much.
And we're here with Per Hallberg, who just won the award tonight. Not normally in front of the camera, usually behind the camera. For you that don't know, the man behind the sound, the effects for movies such as Gladiator, Ray, the Bourne Ultimatum trilogy, the only Swede to win an Oscar, but not just one Oscar, 2 Oscars. And tonight you won another prize, the Eliason Award. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We saw some of the movies that you've made the effects for. Too many movies to even start, and we'd be here all night if I was going to mention them more. Out of all the movies that you've made, or done the sound for and the effects, what movie are you most proud of?
Without a doubt, Gladiator, I think.
Why is that?
You know, it's like any project that you work on. You know, sometimes it just feels not, and it's not just about our work and my work. It's about the whole, all the pieces of the puzzle comes together beautifully. And that was a film that story, acting, cutting it, music, our stuff, everything just worked. And as you work on it, you just feel it, and you know it's going to happen, and it did, and it just felt great. And I'm very proud of that one.
And I had no idea there was a Swedish man who had made all the effects for it and all the other movies that we heard tonight. I cheated by reading, obviously, last week about the award winners tonight. But we see a great night. We see some great Swedish pride. What is it about Sweden that makes us stand out?
You know, I think it's, it was mentioned a little bit today, I think Swedes in general are likes and are used to working together. And we like to share and be, because what I do is very much not just my work, it's a team effort together, and I love that part of it. I could push something up to about this level myself, but with a team around me, I push it a little bit higher and we keep going, and that's the exciting part, to see something happen like that. And then also when it comes to taste and design and in the arts and all that kind of stuff, I think Swedes in general is about less is more, but it has to be damn good. Quality. It has to be functional and all that kind of stuff. And I think we all have that in a certain way.
Tonight's been a great night talking about quality. We've had some great people up on stage. We've got some great music. Any moment tonight that stands out to you?
Well, you know, for me, clearly to get the award and know that I was going to be honored and have a friend and co-worker and a director that I work with, like Taylor, come up and talk about it, it's a little, I have to say, a little overwhelming. You know, this is a guy that I've worked with for a long time. He's a good friend, but also he's one of the great directors that I know.
Absolutely.
And having somebody just stand up there and talk about you is a little bit, wait a second, is that me really? You know, it's a little weird almost, right? But I was very happy because that made a big difference. And, you know, it's kind of, if you get an award for one job, it's that one job. This felt more to me like I'm standing there and I'm looking at boom, 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 all the stuff that's going on, and I'm thinking about 25 years of doing this, and it's that's a great feeling. It's a big body of work, and there's been a lot of days, nights, hours, and feels good to kind of look back on that.
Almost like a life achievement, huh?
It's a little bit, even though that I always feel like when I grow up I'm going to do something different. Hopefully I'm going to keep going with this for a while, but yeah, it's that sense in a sense, you know, which is very different from this one specific thing that you do, you know, so it's very cool.
You heard it straight here from the Eliason Award winner for 2011. Per, thank you very much and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is Marcus and we're here at the Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce Awards dinner for the Eliason Awards, and we have a previous award winner, International President Thomas Jagiris. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. This is great. I mean, this event, I got it about, I think, 4 years ago, and it was a much smaller event. But now, as you can see, it's a bigger venue and there are more people, and I think what's happened as well is great because there's younger people now as well. It used to be when I got the award only 4 years ago. It felt like a very, not in a bad way, but it felt like an older traditional event. And now it's great because it seems like it's sort of like all the Swedes in LA and California, not just, you know, people that have been here for a long time, but like the younger generation as well, which I think is great.
It seems like Swedish people become more proud of being Swedish once we leave the mother country and we come abroad. What is it about that? Why do we become so proud of our nationalistic once we leave our home country?
You know, I don't think it's just Swedish people. I think that happens to everyone. Because when you live in a country, I remember doing this. I had some visitors coming over. I had like a film director, James Cameron, who did Avatar. He came over to Sweden a long time ago, 20 years ago. And he came and he wanted to see the Millesgården in Stockholm. And you know what? When I was then 27, 26, I never heard of it. I didn't even know it existed.
I actually don't know what it is still.
You know what? At Lidingö. And you know, I became a tour guide and I became also at the same time a tourist in my own country. It's almost like when you live in a place, you think, I'll get to that one day, right? But when you move away, you miss all the things you either didn't do or all the stuff you did do. I think it's, you know what, it happens to everyone. I don't think it's just a Swedish thing. I think it happens to everyone. No matter what you do, no matter what nationality you are, when you move from your home country, you long for that home country. And
I
think it's,
agree.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's a great thing. I love Sweden more now than when I lived there.
And
And
it's
the same thing for you, right?
absolutely 100%, 100%. One thing that makes Sweden so special. What makes Sweden stand out?
It's something that was said today here, I think. It's one of the things is this idea of society, community, right? That it's sort of like everyone helps each other.
Yeah.
I love that idea. And also I love the idea of creativity. The fact that stuff gets created, you actually get up and you do your thing. When I grew up in Sweden, it was a really boring place. I mean, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s in Sweden. It was boring, but that made me a great musician.
Oh, really?
Because there was nothing to do, so I started playing music. It's one of those things where like everyone's equal in a way, everyone's got the same opportunity. It's up to you to pick up what is good about yourself.
Are we going to see you perform here tonight?
Not this year, but I think, you know what, maybe next year. I mean, honestly, I want to do it next year.
So you actually play music?
I play and I compose music and I work with Mikael from Milo.
Yeah.
We sort of produce music together and everything, so maybe next year I'll do something. Yeah.
Eliason's Awards Dinner 2012. Look for this man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
To welcome the next presenter of the Eliason Entrepreneurship Award. Her name is Dawn Ferraro, and she is the spa director at Desert Spring JW Marriott Resort and Spa in Palm Desert, and that is the third largest spa in California, and she has been with the Marriott for 28 years. So please, Dawn Ferrari, would you like to come up on stage?
Well, it's a little bit humbling to follow that presentation, but I am proud to do it for Kerstin. Kerstin helped the careers of many, many, many spa directors, not just my career. She opened the Desert Springs Marriott Resort and Spa 25 years ago. It's actually the third largest spa in our company, which is now the largest spa provider in the world. Kerstin personally trained our staff, as she has many within Marriott, Fairmont, and other lodging companies. And to this day, Kerstin continues to come through our spa and provide inspiration and passion to our staff. Many who are still there and have been there for the entire time that Kerstin's first began with us. She took me under her wing when I was a newbie in the spa culture to Europe twice, and we were able to travel through Austria and Hungary, and she educated me to the real true meaning of spa and healing and inner strength and inner beauty. And Kerstin's inner beauty is tremendous. It's even stronger than her exquisite exterior beauty. Kerstin's company has developed into one that is probably one of the most respected skincare body spa companies in the world. And having traveled to Europe with Kerstin on 2 occasions and around the country many times, Kerstin is our celebrity. When we were traveling in Europe, it didn't matter where we were, it didn't matter what city we were in, it didn't matter what spa we were in, but Kerstin was recognized everywhere we went. She's provided inspiration and passion and love and growth and development in this company and chosen to stay so true to the culture where others have taken a different route and been able to either become larger companies or wealthier or have more exposure. But Kerstin has been so true to the culture to not add preservatives, to not commercialize her product, to keep it true to what her passion was all those years ago when she first started out. As a mentor, I can't thank Kerstin enough for what she has done, not only for me personally, but for our company. Starting out in Desert Springs, it was the first spa in Marriott, and it was the first large spa for Kerstin, and she's now represented in over 35 countries, and she is by far our largest fan within Marriott, and we are hers. And Kerstin, I'm so proud, I'm humbled, I'm trembling that you allowed me to come and honor you today with your entire team that you have here from your offices. But we are so proud of you. We're proud to be affiliated with you. And I hope that this relationship continues on and on and on. But I'm delighted to be here tonight and present you with this honor. And we have your Eliason Award here for you. Thank you.
Per, you felt a tear. I'm crying. I'm trying to behave like a grown-up woman. I can't see one of you. But, Don, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm speechless, even that I have this piece of paper in my hand. I'm trying to remember what I'm going to say. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce, for this very high and much appreciated award. To be in the company of so many of my processors, it's unbelievable that I am standing here today. And I'm really trying to get hold of myself. While this reward recognizes the entrepreneurial success, I prefer to think of it as a validation of my personal philosophy of well-being, which has been greatly influenced by my Swedish upbringing and my continued association with my home country. All of us of Swedish heritage know the importance that our country places in the benefit derived from our early interaction with nature. It is that early interaction that has driven my design and products and treatments that contribute to the healthy lifestyle. Thank you, Sweden. And it is this love of nature and country that makes me so proud to stress my Swedish heritage in both my personal and professional life. If I had not been Swedish, I may not have done this. It was an urge to do it, and I still believe every bit of it. After 46 years in this country, I thank America for giving me the opportunity to be one of the big players today. I could never have imagined this to happen, to stay on this stage, to be one, to stand here and talk about my life. You know, it's not so interesting, but I'm glad you're taking part of it. So I want to thank my husband. You know, if it wasn't for him, I would not be here. He believed in me, and he encouraged me. And it is so nice to have somebody that you come home to when you have trouble in your life, and somehow I could not do anything wrong. And I think that everybody needs to have somebody like that. So thank you, Wayne. And I also like to thank my colleagues, my office, that you made my dream to come true, and that you believed in the philosophy, and that it makes sense for you. And so thank you all. And now it is my honor to give the future ring to my daughter, or our daughter, Charlene. to really continue the journey and my quest. Thank you all.
We're here with Maria Montesami, who was the hostess tonight. Was that the first time you hosted an event?
No, this was not the first time, but it was the first time I was hosting an event on American soil. And I'm going to tell you something, it was super duper fun.
You did a great job up there. It's been a great award dinner night, and the Eliason Award winner was obviously well worth it. Swedes in Los Angeles, we're doing pretty good out here. What is it about Swedish people that makes us stand out?
Well, it was kind of like one presenter also said that Swedish people are so smart and so kind and so honest and always have that last finishing touch on everything. So Swedish people will succeed in the world wherever they go because there's something that we have that nobody can take away from us.
You're obviously very special, you're very well known in Sweden, you become somewhat of an icon from starting off with Swedish Hollywood Wives. It was 3 years ago?
Yes, it was about 3 years ago, and now we've just finished season 4 and it's already shown. But it's been fun. It's been a really fun ride, and I hope that in some way I have inspired somebody that there is a life than just to be a stay-at-home mom and being a wonderful mother and wife.
And you started your own collection, and some of those items were on the silent auction here tonight. What inspired you to start that?
Well, I've always wanted to create something, and then if I'm good at designing purses, that's what I will stick to. And the new collection is coming out soon, and it's going to be better than ever.
Maria, thank you so much, and thank you for a great night here. Tack så jättemycket.
Tonight for dinner, our chef has prepared a meal in keeping with Swedish cuisine. We have a choice of, some of you will be enjoying braised cod with a dill and horseradish mashed potato.
What's up? I'm Travis Carter, aka T-Rev, the MC tonight and also performing. So make sure if you don't see me MCing tonight, stay for the after party because it's going down.
Har ni en hälsning till kameran nu?
Nej, det har jag inte. Jo, det är klart. Ja, men vi är ju här och... Spriten. Support.
Den fria baren.
Ja, precis. Nej, men vi är ju här och... så, eller? Ja, men vi är här och supportar de duktiga svenskarna. Här Per. Ja.
Want to say anything to the camera also, perhaps?
You go.
Okay. Well, it's great to be invited by the Swedish Chamber of Commerce, and hopefully we're going to win some awards tonight. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Wonderful. We say congratulations to Kerstin Florian for a wonderful work she done here in America and in Sweden. We love you, Kerstin.
Congratulations, Kerstin.
Congratulations.
Hej, heja Sverige.
Ja, heja Sverige. Det här är prinsessorna Victoria och Madeleine live från Eliason Award.
Eliason är då Svenska Handelskammaren här i Los Angeles, största black tie-eventet hela året, så att vi är väldigt excited att vara här. Tack snälla.
Just push together a little bit. Okay, 1, 2, 3.